Number 1 is
follow directions quickly.
number 2,
Raise your hand for permission to speak.
number 3,
Raise your hand for permission to get out of your seat.
number 4,
Make smart decisions.
number 5.
Make Miss Davis happy.
Okay, what have we been discussing in math? We've been discussing fractions. And if I write this fraction on the board, how do we read this fraction? How do you read that?
1/2.
1/2. And this number is called the
Numerator.
and this is?
Denominator.
What type of fraction is this when there is a 1 in the numerator?
Unit fraction.
Unit fraction. So we've been discussing how to name fractions whenever you see pictures and the numerator and denominator. Today, what we're going to be doing is comparing fractions on a number line and without a number line. Who can raise their hand and tell me what does compare mean, Jada?
Tell how 2 things are alike.
That's correct. Mirror.
Mirror.
Compare means
Compare
to
means
tell how
to tell how
2 things
2 things
are alike.
are alike.
Okay. You guys have a sprint and you have 2 minutes to complete it. Go. Time's up. Pencils down. If you have them all correct, come up. I want you guys to review the first 10.
5 divided by 5 equals
5.
5 divided by 5 equals
1.
10 divided by 5 equals
2.
15 divided by 5 equals
3.
25 divided by 5 equals
5.
20 divided by 5 equals
4.
2 divided by 1 equals
2.
2 divided by 2 equals
1.
4 divided by 2 equals
2.
6 divided by 2 equals 3.
Okay, just to review some things we were doing yesterday, actually labeling fractions on a number line, we are going to solve this application problem. What is the first thing we do when we solve math word problems? 3 letters. What are they?
RDW.
And what does R stand for?
Read.
Let's read the problem.
Thomas has 2 sheets of paper. He wants to punch 4 equally spaced holes along the edge of each sheet. Draw Thomas 2 sheets of paper next to each other so the ends meet. Label the number line from 0 at the start of his first paper to 2 at the end of his second paper. What unit fraction is labeled on the 8th hole?
Okay, you guys are going to get with your shoulder partner and you're going to complete this problem. Teach.
Okay.
Now the next thing we're going to do is draw after we draw Thomas is to the thing is the number line from 0 and start from 2. Now, what are we going to start at? What number? Good. So you're at 0. And then what number are we going to what is going to be in the middle? What number is going to be in the middle? And then after 1, what is the number 2? How many equally spaced holes are in 2 tables? 8. Good. So we're going to have 34.
Time's up. After we read this problem, what is the next thing we're going to do? Draw. So if we're drawing something, what are we going to draw? It says draw what?
2 sheets of paper.
So let's draw time. It says 2 sheets of paper. If we draw 2 sheets of paper together, and how many holes are we punching in each sheet?
4.
4 equally spaced holes. Let's count them.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And this one is going to be?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What is the next thing we should be drawing?
A number line.
A number line. If we draw a number line that is the same length as the paper, what number should be here?
0.
And where should our number line end?
2.
Well, what number is in between?
1.
Right, because we know 1 becomes between 0 and 2 on the number line. If we are partitioning, remember there are 4 equal holes punched in each paper. That means we have to partition this number line into how many equal spaces between each number? 4. So we should have how many lines?
4.
Let's count them out.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Give yourself a round of applause if you have this on your paper. Class.
Yes.
What fraction will be here?
0 fourths.
0 fourths. What fraction will be here?
1 fourth.
Here.
2 fourths.
Next.
3 fourths.
Next.
4 fourths. 5 fourths. 6 fourths. 7 fourths. 8 fourths.
Just to recall something we did before, what are these fractions called when the numerator is larger than the denominator? Marlisa, what is that called?
Improper fraction.
That is called an improper fraction. Correct. Mirror.
Mirror.
An improper fraction
An improper fraction
is when the numerator is larger than the denominator. Okay, so we're able to label. Did everyone label? You label all your fraction units.
Yes.
Now, they're asking you, what fraction is labeled on the 8th hole? What fraction is labeled on the 8th hole?
8 fourths.
8 fourths. And this is an improper fraction. Remember, this fraction line is an indicator that we should be doing what operation?
Division.
Division. So if we're dividing 8 divided by 4, what's the answer?
2.
So you're telling me that 8/4 is equal to 2?
Yes.
Correct. Today what we're going to be doing, other than labeling, we're going to be comparing fractions. Someone raise their hand and tell me, what does it mean to compare? To compare. Or Monte?
Compare means to tell how two things are alike.
That's correct. Compare means to tell how 2 or more things are alike. If we take this shape, what shape is this?
Rectangle.
A rectangle. And we divide that rectangle into, how many parts did I divide this rectangle into?
4.
4 equal parts. If I wanted to write a fraction for this rectangle representing how many parts that are shaded, what is this fraction going to be?
1/4.
1/4, correct, because 1 part out of 4 is shaded. What about this fraction?
3/4.
3/4. So if I ask you to compare these two fractions, someone tell me, how are we going to compare these two fractions? Terrence.
The two denominators.
So you're going to look at the two denominators? What are you noticing about the denominators?
They're both the same.
The denominators are the same. So if the denominators are the same, we tell which fraction is larger by looking at the numerator. Which number is larger in the numerator?
3.
3. So which fraction is larger?
3/4.
3/4, that's correct. Let's look back at the picture. Just looking at the picture, visually looking at it, can you automatically tell which one has more shaded?
Yes.
Okay, but today what we're going to do is you're going to learn on a number line, how do we compare? So if I wanted to label these fractions on the number line, let's look at our denominator. What number is in both of our denominators?
4.
4. So that means we need to partition this number line into how many parts?
4.
4. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. That's our fourth line. That 1 is equal to what?
4/4.
4/4. Where is the 3/4?
In the middle.
Xavier, come show me what you mean. Where is the 3/4? Where's the 3/4? Let's help them. 0/4,
2/4.
1/4.
2/4. 3/4.
Label it. Someone raise your hand to volunteer to label 1/4. Asia. What is this? A 0 unit fraction. What fraction would this be?
0/4.
0/4. Okay, we're going to compare 1/4 to 3/4. Which one is larger?
3/4.
By looking at the number line, how do you know that 3/4 is larger than 1/4? Jada?
Because it's closer to the 1.
Because it's closer to, is 3/4 closer to the 1? Is she correct?
Yes.
So every time you look at a number line, and that's the lesson for today, anything that's closer to the 0 is going to be smaller than the number that's closer to your next whole number. Because 1 is always larger than 0, correct?
Yes.
Would you rather Ms. Davis give you $1 million or 0?
1 million.
1 million, correct. So 3/4 is larger.